Alright, here we go. I was finally playing somebody that's closer to my rating, and this was a great game. I thought I got a really good advantage in the beginning with some tricky queen play, but then as the middle game broke out, I was really close to getting mated and used up all my time. And I think I ran it down to where I only had 7 seconds left, and he had 7 minutes, or actually 11 seconds left for me and 6 minutes for him. But crazy good game. I sent this guy a friend request right after. So kingside, come with the horse. Right. So I always hate when people do this to me. So blow. And he chose to decline. So I immediately forced the pin, and this was a bad move. I think this was a big mistake by him. He tried to pin my horse, but see, I've got the momentum. I've got the tempo. So what do? Push the pawn. Now he's like, well, crap, I got to kick the knight, but I could care less about, or kick the bishop, but I could care less about that. I just take. And after he takes, and see, at that move, I knew moving my queen up to d5 would be a slick move. So here it comes. He takes, I take. He's got to do something with the pawn. So he moves the castle. I can immediately protect with the queen. And I'm threatening mate, honestly, here pretty quick with knight to g5 and then queen to f7. And I'm getting ready to take the pawn on b5 and check him again. So he brings a horse over, which was a fairly good play, I guess. But boom, check. So obviously the only move he has is he can block with the queen or the bishop. So he blocks with the bishop. Then I had to think about this for a while. I was like, you know what, if I queen, I can always come back and recapture my queen or recapture his bishop with the new queen and check him again, start all over, and be up a piece. So he can't take back with the queen because he'll lose another piece. So he takes, and boom. So now I'm up, and so he begins to chase my queen off, which is fine. I just go back and chill. And here's where the middle game starts. So I've got a passed a pawn, and I will exploit that, and that ends up winning the game for me. But castle, get my king out of here. This is going to get crazy. He senses the same thing. What I wanted to do and what I was thinking here is he's got a bad bishop. His pawns are on dark squares. His bishop's locked in, and so I want to blockade his pawns on the black squares. So the first thing I do is I get the X-ray attack on the queen to make him worry about the queen, so he won't push that pawn. And so he castles. I push, and you see what I'm doing here. I'm blockading, and I'm making a nice little spot for my knight to go after he pushes. So you know exactly where I'm going. He realizes it too. So now I've got a great knight, and he's got a bad bishop. So he moves his king out of the way, and you're probably thinking, take the bishop, take the bishop. But no, never trade a good piece for a bad piece. His bishop is awful right now. My knight is outstanding. So I will not make this trade. I'm just going to push the pawn. So as a good defender, whenever you're in a bad position, you can trade off and relieve some of the pressure and minimize my threat. But I don't want to recapture his knight and lose tempo. So I just continue to push the pawn. And he trades off, and I have to take. And then he's trying to give his black bishop some room. But again, I don't want to lose tempo. There's no problem with him capturing. So I continue to push, and now I got to capture. So this is kind of where we're at. Now he recognizes he has to stop that pawn. He can't let it go one more. But he can threaten some nasty stuff with that bishop. So it's very easy for me to defend. And now he's like, okay, I got to deal with the pawn. So he doubles up his rooks. And I free my rook up because I'm getting ready to double up my rooks. So he blockades it, which was good. Just don't let the pawn advance. So I thought for a little while, and I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And at this point, I just figured, let's reposition the knight, open up that X-ray attack on his queen right there at D6. So get my horse out. He's wanting to trade off. I don't care. I'm getting ready to attack his queen. And he realizes that, so he backs off. So I thought about this for a little bit and decided I can't take with the knight. I got to take with the castle. So he exchanges because he knows I have to take back. I can't just take his queen here or I'm in trouble. So he gets his queen out of the way. And so I thought about this for a little bit. And this is where I used all my time up. So I push. And what I'm wanting to do is he's got a back row mate. I can mate him, but he can mate me on the back row. So this is very delicate. So he takes my pawn. And now here's what I'm thinking. I go here. If he takes the horse, I check with the castle. He recaptures with the castle. With his A castle. I promote my pawn. And if he takes the pawn, I check him with my A castle. The only way he could protect his king would be bring his queen all the way back to G8. I capture his queen on G8. He recaptures with his king, and then I play the rest of the game. Queen versus his last remaining rook. So that I recognize that, and I was planning for it. He can't backline mate me right here because my queen's protecting it. So he realizes this, and he gets his queen down to where she can check me on another square other than C1. So I have to respect that. So I release the pawn. He takes, and now here starts the exchange. It's like he didn't even see it. So here it goes. Boom, boom, queen. So he realized, okay, I can't capture, so he doubles up with his queen and checks me at the same time. Beautiful move. I walk out. Then he triples up. But that was a bad move, because what did he just forget to protect? Boom. Now, I've got the same scenario with the backline mate, but with the queen this time, and he doesn't see it. He comes here, and it's over. Check, kill, mate. Good game.